Aye, been a while, hasn't it? I'm gonna try my best to give as much information as I can here. This is gonna be a completely unedited video. I'm just gonna upload this as soon as I'm done recording it, just to give my thoughts on stuff. So, where have I been? That's a good question. There's a lot for me to mention and talk about when it comes to me as a person and Explorers of the Sea and PMD. Fuck, I'm forgetting my own fucking series name. This is how long it's been. Oh god, I'm just watching this one. PMD, Explorers of the Sea, and PMD Forgotten World. I want to mention that I still love these series, and I love everything that I've made for them, and I'm never going to quit making any of them. I want to stress that as much as I can. I am never, ever going to just quit them. If I am ever quitting them and they're not finished, there's so many bigger reasons as to why that is happening. I might be dead if that is the case. Even if this series completely flops and nobody else is watching it and I've missed my mark, I am going to finish it because this series means more to me than it does trying to be famous and all that stuff. You guys enjoying it is a byproduct of me trying to release my series. And I am ever so grateful that you guys have fallen in love with all the characters and everything. But to talk about it a little bit, I have been suffering from two major things when it comes to the series. I guess technically three. The first thing is burnout, and this is kind of a burnout in two major aspects. You may have noticed that I have not been streaming as much recently. Anytime I do stream, it is probably just me doing my D&D session on Twitch, which, granted, I have been enjoying that, but that's what I'm going to talk about in another section. You may have also noticed that I've stopped the PM D&D sessions a little bit, and if you watched the last VOD, you might have noticed the severe burnout that I've been having with that. I think a significant amount of my burnout has come from the PMD community in general, and I don't want to say that as like I have a problem with the community or I have problems with people in the community, because I don't. I love this community. I love the Skytemple community. I love everything that you guys have given me. Even as it has taken forever for me to get the next episode of Deceit out, on my Blue Sky, I've literally changed my handle to be PMD related. And I have a specific temporal tower feed of just PMD related content to see on Blue Sky. I love this community. I'm never gonna stop loving the community. The problem is just work. Working on everything. I can't just have Pokemon be my entire life. You know? I love Pokemon, I love it to death, I'm excited for whatever comes next, but it can't be everything that I do. I've tried to mix up some things. I've had ideas of like videos to make. I've thought about bringing back the Goth VTuber Explain series. I've thought about explaining the TF2 economy as a video. I have a script written and everything, but there was a part of me that was like, people aren't going to want to see it. People aren't going to give a fuck because it's not PMD related. I've recently gotten into D&D and other tabletop games like Warhammer 40,000, and I've wanted to do things about that, but at the same time, it's like, I don't think people will be interested because it's not a PMD. And this entire bit of overthinking and draining has led to me struggling to open Skytemple on a good day. I've started work coding chapter 9. I'm about like halfway or a quarter of the way through chapter 3 of Forgotten World, but I can't for the life of me open the application. It is just severe burnout. I have no drive to do it. Granted, the drive will come back at some point. I know it will. And I am trying my best to get chapter 8 out as much as possible. Or chapter 9. This is how fucked I am. I'm losing track of like what chapter I'm on right now because it's been so long and it's been so draining. Anyways, the next thing that has been preventing the next chapter from coming out has been just overproduction. I've completely done way too much when it comes to the series, and that is something that happens to me a lot. I tend to overextend and get so many ideas that I want to implement into something that I'm doing that it ends up giving me way too much on my plate, and it leads to me getting burnout, which in this case has definitely affected me. Honestly, I need to cut back on some of the extra things that I show in Deceit. I need to cut back on the amount of scenes. Every chapter has been over like an hour long at this point, and I don't know if that is sustainable for me to keep doing. I need to stop showing background scenes with characters like talking in the town. That has proven to be way too much on my plate in terms of editing and getting so much voice acting work that it has imploded the wait time. And I need to just leave a lot of my big ideas for at least until like I'm ready to release a final version. Not even for the demo. I had an idea for the boss fight of this next chapter where it was just going to be an entire song. I was going to have Yuki and my friend Xander perform an in-universe song that gets played on like a boombox during the boss fight. And that has just been way too much. It's just been way too much. And the amount of voice actors that I have had to go through, and the amount of people that I've lost in terms of voice acting has been immense. I've had to replace a couple of people now, the most notable one being Whopper, and waiting for voice lines is one of the biggest things, because a large chunk of the voice acting that I get is on a volunteer basis, and I can't just rush them. I can't force them to meet a deadline because I'm not paying them, and that would be a dick move of me. I would be an asshole. Everything is on volunteer work, and I can't force anyone to do anything. You know? If I were paying them, it'd be different, but I don't have a sustainable way to constantly pay everyone. The most I'm able to constantly pay is the musical artists and a couple of the main cast that are there for a bunch of the episodes, most specifically Chris. And that's about all I can really do. You guys, like, I am one person, and I have to code, I have to record, I have to edit, I have to come up with the ideas to put into every scene, I have to storyboard, I have to do all of that, and I also voice act for a good chunk of the characters as well. Everything takes so much time, and I need to find ways to scale back so that I'm not killing myself over every single chapter. The last major thing that has gotten in the way of the next upload is just I have ADD, I have ADHD, I have autism, I have so many other things that I find interesting and I have interests in, and I end up kind of bouncing between hyperfixation and hyperfixation. For a while, I've done Dungeons and Dragons stuff. I'm still doing Dungeons and Dragons stuff, and I'm still enjoying it. But I've also recently gotten, like I said, into Warhammer 40,000. I have 2 whole armies, a Tau Empire and a Gene Stealer Cult army that I've been playing in real life at a local game store and having a blast with. And that has taken time away from working on my Twitch and my YouTube, and it's just what it is. You know, I can't constantly be making content my entire life. I have a job. I just recently became an assistant manager, and while we're on that topic, yeah, life itself has been in the way. Therapy has gotten way better for me, I'll fully admit that. I'm still in it though. I'm still depressed. I still have to take sertraline. I recently got on an ADHD medication as well. Like I said, I'm recently going into managerial positioning at my job. I'm trying to finish college as best as I can. My grandmother has deteriorated to the point where she was calling the cops on us for things that weren't actually happening. She assaulted my dad for hot coffee at one point. And we only just recently got her healthcare proxy vote so we could get her the proper help that she needs because we can't take care of her anymore. And on top of all of that, I'm an uncle now. My sister just recently gave birth to a kid. I'm an uncle. I have a little rugrat that I have to help in times when she needs me. There's just so much going on. So, if there's anything to take away from this upload, I am not giving up on Deceit, and I am not giving up on Forgotten World. I need to stop trying to nail into my head that I need to get things done, I need to upload them, otherwise people will stop caring. Because I have been focused more on what people have been caring about rather than the... I'm sorry, I'm trying to find the words here. This series started off as something that I never expected it to blossom into what it is. This was just supposed to be a series that was just for me and my friends. And then it broke out and blossomed, and so many of you love it, and I love the fact that you love it, but I've let that kind of fuck with me so much. I've focused so much about trying to keep all of your retention and trying to have all of you be like, oh look, it's another Deceit upload, and trying to keep hype and hype and hype rather than remembering that, yeah, this was made for me and my friends. I shouldn't let everything get to my head to the way that it is. I should just be making what I want to make, and if you guys enjoy it, yay. If you don't enjoy it, then I don't know. Like, I want you to enjoy it, I want you guys to like it, but I shouldn't be letting it dictate everything. Anyways, this is just all I wanted to say and get off my chest. Even now as I'm ending this recording, I feel a lot better. I actually genuinely feel like a weight was lifted off of my chest. I love you guys. I love everything that you've given me. I will be getting the next chapter out soon, I promise. And from then on, I'm going to be trying to pull back on my production so I can get everything out. And then, once I'm at a state where I can work on a main game and all that, then I'll focus on making everything as beautiful and pretty and everything as possible. If you guys listen to this all the way, thank you. If some of you clicked off halfway through because this is an unedited video that probably only just has background music, I don't blame you. But for those of you that did listen, thank you very much. Have a good rest of your day.